You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor known for leading one of the greatest empires in history while privately writing reflections about discipline, calmness, and inner peace. His writings later became one of the foundations of Stoic philosophy. If your mind feels heavy, if you feel like life keeps moving, but you're somehow stuck, if you wake up tired, overthink everything, and secretly wonder why success comes easier to other people, then this video is for you. Because the truth is this: most people are not defeated by life. They are defeated by the noise inside their own minds. And the moment you learn how to relax your mind, you stop chasing life desperately. You begin attracting clarity, confidence, opportunities, wealth, and peace naturally. Stay till the end, because one idea in this video could completely change how you approach success forever. And if you want more timeless wisdom like this, subscribe to Wisdom Without Noise, where silence becomes strength. 1. Your mind becomes what you repeatedly feed it. A restless mind cannot create a peaceful life. Most people spend every day feeding their minds fear, comparison, pressure, bad news, insecurity, and endless distractions, then wonder why they feel anxious and unlucky. Stoics believe the mind is like a garden. Whatever you water grows. If you constantly water doubt, you grow fear. If you constantly water gratitude, discipline, and calmness, you grow power. Think about the average morning today. Most people wake up and immediately touch their phones. Notifications, stress, news, social media, comparison. Before their feet even touch the ground, their peace is already gone. Now imagine another person. He wakes up quietly. He breathes slowly. He sits with his thoughts. He chooses gratitude before chaos. Two minds. Two completely different futures. There was a young man who worked a low-paying job and constantly complained that life was unfair. Every day during lunch break, he watched videos of luxury lifestyles and became bitter about his own life. One afternoon, an older coworker asked him a simple question. What do you feed your mind more, inspiration or frustration? That question changed him. Instead of consuming negativity every day, he started reading, learning, meditating, and improving his skills little by little. Months later, his mindset changed. Then his habits changed. Then his opportunities changed. Not because magic happened, but because his mind changed first. Stoicism teaches that external success begins internally. The quality of your thoughts shapes the quality of your reality. Your mind is always listening to you. So be careful what you repeat inside it. 2. Calmness is a hidden form of power. Most people think power looks loud. Stoics knew real power is quiet. The calm person in a stressful room controls more than the angry person shouting. When your emotions constantly react to everything, life controls you. But when you remain calm under pressure, you become dangerous in the best possible way. There's a reason wealthy, successful, emotionally intelligent people rarely panic publicly. They understand something most people don't. Panic destroys judgment. A stoic mind remains steady. There was a businessman whose company suddenly began collapsing during an economic crisis. Employees panicked. Investors feared the worst. Everyone expected him to break down. But he remained calm. Not because he had no fear, but because he understood fear solves nothing. Instead of reacting emotionally, he spent his energy finding solutions. Years later, he admitted something powerful. The moment I stopped panicking was the moment I started rebuilding. That is Stoicism. A relaxed mind sees opportunities a stressed mind cannot see. When your mind is overwhelmed, you miss clarity. You make desperate decisions. You chase instead of attract. But calmness sharpens perception. And often, the people who appear lucky are simply calm enough to notice opportunities others miss. The Stoics practiced emotional control not to become emotionless, but to become unshakable. Because when your mind becomes peaceful, your actions become powerful. 3. Stop forcing life so aggressively. One of the biggest reasons people suffer is because they force everything. Force relationships. Force success. Force validation. Force outcomes. And the harder they force life, the more exhausted they become. Stoicism teaches alignment over desperation. There's a difference between working hard and emotionally choking your future. Many people say they want wealth, but internally they operate from fear. Fear of failure. Fear of not being enough. Fear of being left behind. That energy creates tension, and tension clouds judgment. A farmer cannot scream at seeds to grow faster. He plants. He waters. He trusts the process. That's how manifestation truly works. Not through fantasy, but through peaceful consistency. There was a woman who desperately wanted success in her business. Every day she obsessed over numbers, compared herself to competitors, and stressed over every little setback. Eventually, burnout consumed her. One day she took a break and realized something painful. She had built success into a survival battle instead of a meaningful journey. So she changed her approach. She still worked hard, but with calmness. She stopped obsessing over instant results. She focused on serving people well. Ironically, that's when her business started growing. Because relaxed focus creates sustainable energy. Desperate energy repels clarity. Stoicism teaches patience because life unfolds in seasons. Not everything needs to happen immediately. Some blessings arrive when your mind finally becomes quiet enough to receive them. 4. Wealth begins with internal discipline. Many people want financial success. Very few develop the mindset required to keep it. Stoics understood that wealth without discipline becomes self-destruction. You can give two people the same opportunity. One builds a future. The other ruins it. The difference is internal control. A distracted mind wastes money. An impulsive mind destroys opportunities. An undisciplined mind sabotages success. But a peaceful and disciplined mind creates stability. There was a young man who finally got his first big paycheck. Instead of investing or planning wisely, he spent most of it trying to impress people online. Expensive clothes, luxury dinners, fake appearances. Months later, he was broke again. Meanwhile, his quiet friend drove an old car, learned new skills, saved consistently, and stayed focused. Years later, the quiet friend became financially free. Not because he was luckier, because he mastered himself. Stoicism teaches that self-control is greater than temporary pleasure. A relaxed mind does not need constant validation. And once you stop trying to impress people, you begin building real wealth. The richest people psychologically are often the least desperate to look rich. Because real abundance begins internally. 5. Silence protects your energy. Not every thought deserves a reaction. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. One of the greatest Stoic skills is learning silence. Modern society rewards noise. Everybody is arguing, explaining themselves constantly, defending every criticism. But Stoics understood something powerful. Silence preserves energy. There was a man constantly mocked by coworkers for being quiet and reserved. People assumed he lacked confidence. But while everyone wasted energy gossiping and complaining, he focused on improving himself quietly. Years later, he became their supervisor. The same silence people mocked became his advantage. Not every battle deserves your energy. A relaxed mind chooses peace selectively. And the more peaceful your mind becomes, the less chaos attracts you. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say." Imagine how free life becomes when other people's opinions stop controlling your emotions. That freedom changes everything. 6. Most stress comes from imaginary futures. Stoics constantly warned against living in imagined disasters. Most people suffer more in imagination than reality. Think about how many things you worried about that never actually happened. The human mind creates fear automatically when left uncontrolled. What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if everything goes wrong? Meanwhile, reality often turns out far less terrifying. There was a student terrified about presenting a project publicly. For weeks he lost sleep imagining embarrassment. But when the presentation day arrived, everything went smoothly. Afterward, he laughed at himself. The suffering existed mostly in his imagination. Stoicism teaches presence. The present moment is usually manageable. It is the imagined future that overwhelms us. A relaxed mind focuses on what it can control today. Not 10 years from now. Not imaginary scenarios. Just today. And strangely enough, people who master today often create better tomorrows naturally. 7. Detachment attracts better outcomes. This sounds strange at first. But often, the moment you stop emotionally clinging to something, it comes naturally. Why? Because desperation creates emotional pressure. Detached effort creates freedom. Stoics practiced detachment not because they didn't care, but because they refused to emotionally collapse over outcomes. There's power in saying, "I will give my best effort, but I will not destroy my peace over results." A man once applied for a dream opportunity and became obsessed with getting accepted. He checked emails constantly, lost sleep, and mentally built his entire identity around the outcome. He didn't get it. At first, he felt devastated. But later, another opportunity appeared, one even better suited for him. Years later, he admitted, "The thing I thought would destroy me actually redirected my life." Sometimes what you chase desperately is not truly meant for you. Stoicism teaches trust in the process of life. Relaxed minds adapt better. And adaptable people often succeed more because they don't break emotionally when life changes direction. 8. Gratitude multiplies peace. Many people delay happiness until success arrives. I'll relax when I become rich. I'll enjoy life when everything is perfect. But Stoics knew peace is practiced before success, not after. Gratitude changes the emotional frequency of your life. A grateful mind sees abundance. An ungrateful mind sees constant lack. There was a woman who constantly focused on everything missing in her life. Better house. Better job. Better relationship. No matter what she achieved, it never felt enough. One evening during a blackout, she sat quietly with her family under candlelight. No phones. No distractions. For the first time in years, she realized how much peace already existed around her. That night changed her perspective. Gratitude doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you stop ignoring what's already beautiful. And ironically, peaceful gratitude often attracts greater success because your mind stops operating from emotional emptiness. Stoicism teaches contentment with the present while still improving the future. That balance creates inner wealth. 9. Your energy shapes your relationships. People feel your internal state before your words. A stressed person spreads tension. A peaceful person spreads calmness. That's why emotionally relaxed people naturally attract others. Their presence feels safe. There was an elderly man known throughout his neighborhood for his calm demeanor. Even during difficult situations, he spoke gently and listened carefully. People trusted him deeply. Not because he was the richest or most powerful, but because his peace influenced everyone around him. Stoics believed character creates influence. And when your mind becomes calm, your relationships improve naturally. You stop reacting aggressively. You stop taking everything personally. You stop needing constant validation. Peaceful people create healthier connections because they are no longer emotionally starving. 10. The universe rewards consistency more than intensity. Many people work hard for 1 week, then disappear for months. Stoics valued consistency over emotional motivation. Success is usually boring before it becomes impressive. A relaxed mind understands this. There was a writer who wanted success quickly. Every few weeks he started a new project passionately, then abandoned it. Eventually, an older mentor told him, "Your problem isn't lack of talent. It's lack of steady patience." So he committed to writing every single day, even when uninspired. Years later, his work finally gained recognition. Not because of sudden genius, because of consistency. Stoicism teaches that small disciplined actions repeated daily create extraordinary outcomes over time. The calm person keeps going quietly while others quit emotionally. And eventually, consistency becomes success. 11. Protect your inner world. The world constantly tries to invade your peace. Negative people, bad news, comparison culture, pressure to constantly prove yourself. If you don't protect your inner world, life drains you. Stoics treated the mind like sacred territory. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. A young woman realized every conversation with certain friends left her emotionally exhausted. Constant gossip, negativity, complaints. Eventually, she distanced herself gently. At first she felt guilty, but over time, her peace returned. Sometimes growth requires protecting your environment. A relaxed mind chooses carefully what enters it. Because your environment eventually shapes your emotional reality. 12. You become powerful when you need less. One of the deepest Stoic principles is this. The less dependent you are on external things for happiness, the stronger you become. People become emotionally trapped when they need too much from the world. Need constant praise. Need attention. Need approval. Need luxury to feel valuable. But Stoics practiced inner sufficiency. There was a wealthy man who lost most of his fortune unexpectedly. Everyone assumed his life would collapse emotionally. But surprisingly, he remained calm. When asked how, he replied, "I built my identity before I built my wealth." That is true power. A relaxed mind understands that possessions can disappear, but character remains. And ironically, people who are not emotionally desperate often attract greater abundance naturally. because they operate from wholeness instead of emptiness. 13. Peace makes you more attractive to success. Success is not always attracted by aggression. Sometimes it is attracted by clarity. People trust calm leaders. People respect emotionally stable individuals. People invest in focused minds. Imagine two people entering a room. One is frantic, insecure, and desperate for attention. The other is calm, grounded, and self-aware. Who feels more powerful instantly? Stoicism teaches emotional composure because energy influences opportunity. A peaceful mind thinks clearly, speaks wisely, acts intentionally. That naturally attracts better decisions, healthier relationships, and long-term success. The calmer your mind becomes, the sharper your life becomes. 14. Stop chasing validation. One of the greatest prisons in life is needing everybody to approve of you. Stoics warned against becoming slaves to public opinion, because the crowd changes constantly. Today they praise you. Tomorrow they criticize you. If your peace depends on external approval, your emotions will never rest. There was an artist who constantly changed his style to impress others online. He chased trends endlessly. But eventually he became miserable because none of his work felt authentic anymore. One day he stopped creating for applause and started creating from passion. Ironically, that's when his audience grew. Authenticity attracts more deeply than performance. A relaxed mind no longer performs constantly for acceptance. And that freedom unlocks creativity, confidence, and peace. 15. Your life changes when your mind slows down. Most people move too fast internally. Their bodies may sit still, but mentally they are racing endlessly. Stoicism teaches stillness, because clarity often arrives in silence, not in chaos. A man struggling with burnout decided to spend 15 minutes every morning sitting quietly without distractions. No phone, no music, no notifications. At first, the silence felt uncomfortable. Then something changed. His thoughts became clearer. His anxiety reduced. His decisions improved. Sometimes the answers you seek appear only after your mind becomes quiet enough to hear them. A relaxed mind reconnects you with yourself. And many people are exhausted simply because they have been disconnected from themselves for too long. Conclusion. The world teaches you to rush. Stoicism teaches you to breathe. The world teaches you to force everything. Stoicism teaches you to master yourself first. The world teaches you to chase endlessly. Stoicism teaches you to become internally powerful. Because the truth is, when your mind becomes peaceful, your decisions improve. Your relationships improve. Your focus improves. Your opportunities improve. You stop operating from fear, and you begin creating life with clarity. Relax your mind. Trust the process. Discipline your thoughts. Protect your peace. And slowly, your entire reality begins to change. If this video spoke to you, subscribe to Wisdom Without Noise for more timeless Stoic wisdom that helps you grow mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And remember, a peaceful mind is not weak. It is one of the rarest forms of power in the world.